Evet, bugün bu stüdyoda harika iki tane müzisyenle, dünya çapında müzisyenle birlikteyiz ve Miss Ruby Taylor
Yes.
ve Mr. Jules Holland.
Thank you, yeah. Well, they will curse you and they will cry. And all alone they'll wonder why. Then you will know what it's like to love a child. You won't worry when you're gone just how they'll get along. Then you will know, oh, what it's like to love a child. If you have a child, you'll understand. If you don't, then take my hand, and I'll tell you what it's like to love a child. Your mother knew, your father too, all the things that you go through. Then you will know what it's like to love a child. If you have a child, you'll understand. If you don't, then take my hand, and I will tell you what it's like to love a child. If you have a child, you'll understand. If you don't, then take my hand, and I'll tell you what it's like to love a child. Yeah, that's great, man. Nice.
That's right. Jules Holland'la Helicon stüdyolarında buluştuk. Hi Mr. Jules, how are
Very
you?
nice to see you. Welcome to this world.
Thank you. To this world, this is another world really.
It
It's
is a
beautiful
different world in
studio,
here,
yeah.
yes. Yes.
And I saw the names on the woods, you know, there were so many big stars record here and with you, I think.
Well, yes, this is all the people that have recorded here. Well, it's not actually. We last updated this 10 years ago. So, so there's a lot of people who've been here since. But these are people really who've come in here and recorded with us. And a lot of them, you know, people who I've either written with or we've done their songs or whatever. And I think what you realise looking around, some of these are old now, but there are great people who are no longer here because sadly Solomon Burke is no longer here, sadly. Ian Dury is no longer here, sadly. George Harrison is no longer here.
Yeah.
You know, so and Joe Strummer, who I wrote a song with, we did something the other night. But I'm pleased to say lots of them all are still here.
You need another wood, you know.
We need another whole wall to write it, and then your name will go up there. It's another name to add on. That's what I
That's
mean.
great. That will be a great honor.
We must catch up.
For me. Anyway, I would like to start with your youngest year. You know, how you start singing or to make music? How you decided, or?
When I was about 8 years old, I went in. My grandmother had a piano in her front room, just a tiny little house in Greenwich, and my uncle, who wasn't much older than me, I was probably about 8 and he was probably about 16, could play boogie woogie piano. And I went in one afternoon and he was playing this thing, and it was like a... That's just great. And at that, wow, that's so exciting. So I wanted to jump up. Oh, this is great. And I also, all of the chaos of the universe became ordered. And I thought, this is what I've got to do. And so I spent the rest of my life trying to figure it out. And I haven't stopped yet. I think you could go on trying to figure it out forever. So that's where it started. And then on the radio, I'd hear the Beatles, I'd hear Tamla Motown, and then I'd hear the old boogie woogie and the old jazz piano players, and I'd listen to all of that, and it gets mashed up and becomes one big thing in a person's mind.
You are in England. Here it's a main country for the music, I think. Because all the new things, new musics, and everything is growing up from here.
It's extraordinary. There is a big proportion of new music that's come up from here. I think it was really after the Beatles that happened.
Yeah.
I think in the I suppose the 1920s and 30s, a lot of stuff, and 40s and 50s, a lot of stuff happened in America, you know. And then for some reason, a lot of it came out of Britain. I don't know. Why that is, I don't know. Maybe the way they think or something.
I don't know. For example, the first time that I listened to She Loves You, Yeah, 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 I was shocked, you know. I was 11 years old. I said, what is this music? What kind of harmony is it? I was so pleased by hearing that. And those days, there was no television, nothing in Turkey, just the radio. And I was sitting in the radio, I was waiting that this song come again, you know.
Yes. Well, I felt the same excitement. See, I think it's about what feelings you get from music. So when I must have been, you know, sort of 5 or 6 or something, hearing the Beatles, that gave me the same excitement as hearing sort of 1930s boogie woogie piano. I just got very excited. And I think the thing you can tell when a piece of music is good. Somebody says to me, "What is good music?" Well, good music is when it finishes, you want to hear it again straight away.
That's great.
And so that was the thing that I wanted to. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah. And I think it then becomes a mystery. So you then keep going. Also, the other thing where I have been very fortunate is to work with. You know, we recorded with George Harrison, with Paul McCartney, people who had been and with Ringo Starr, people who had been my heroes as a child, and then you work with them, which is quite daunting until you do the music, and then when you do the music, you all become the servant of the song, and everything's all right then. Yeah. And then it's over, and you go, wait a minute, it's him. It's great, you know.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. In your music career, you work with so many famous and important musicians. What was your influence about all this? With different people, different music. You play with so many people. So in your albums and your concerts, you love to do it with different people, isn't it?
Yes, I think that I do like, I find that by engaging with other artists, one out of 2 things, often something bigger than the 2 things comes out. And that's the experience I've had a lot. So both either with a lot of the artists, you know, I've written songs for, or just performed with, or done their song and performed them. But there's something you hope that something more comes out with than just twice the amount with 2 people. Hopefully you get like 1 add 1, that adds up to 4 or 5. That's good when that happens.
I think that it gives you a joy of life, you know.
Yes, and I think you have to. Somebody said, what's my tips in music? Well, you have to love what you play, and you have to love the people you're playing it with, you know, and then it'll be all right, you know.
That's okay, you know. Since how many years now you are playing piano? Till that day, first day.
I must have been about 1966, that sort of thing, 67, when my uncle that sort of time, I guess, I haven't quite worked it out, when he first showed me that thing. And of course, I couldn't play it properly at first. I just had to spend hours doing that. My parents then could see I could play, so they sent me for piano lessons.
Ah,
A very nice old
played
lady,
this, yeah.
but I went twice because the first time she said, "Oh, I went once because she said we're going to do the Dance of the Pixies. You had to read this music. It was." And I thought, well, this really isn't as much fun as. I thought, I want to do this. I don't want, So I stopped,
Yes,
and I realised I had to.
It was the same for me too.
Yes, yes.
They
They were
both.
trying to help.
I lived the same thing. That's why I'm laughing. They give me a guitar. Just you want to play guitar? Okay, yeah, play guitar. I start playing guitar with a teacher. He was teaching me. I mean, really bullshit. I said, what is this? Na 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 na. I said, it's not that's what I want. And I start to learn from friends, E major, A minor, F major, G major. This chords, that I can play and sing music together with my guitar,
Well, that's it, learning the chords. George Harrison told me, he said that when they first met, they only knew 2 chords, E and A. Yeah. And they got on the bus and went to Bootle, which was like kind of a little bit further up from Liverpool, because there was a man up there that showed them, that knew what B7 was. So then they had 3 chords, and that was it. After that, they kind of never looked back.
Yeah, but 3 chords, you can do beautiful songs.
Yeah, and then once you got 3, it might be 4, 5,
Yeah,
But I did, though, have a very good... When I got a bit older at school, I was playing like this, but I had a music teacher. He was an old man, but he had no interest in any popular music at all. Like, certainly no Beatles, no modern music, no kind of funk, no soul, but not even jazz or not even ragtime. That was all he only had classical music. But it was very good because he showed me what the keys were and the key signature and what the time signatures were. And it was all a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And then I could take those away and go, oh, well, actually, yeah, that's what, and it all added up. So I knew what the things were to call them. So, I think that's the thing. There's the thing about music, that rule number 1 in music is there's no rules. And rule number 2 is...
That's correct.
That's the other rule. No rules at all.
Yeah. Anyway, I watch your TV shows on Turkish television. You have, in the BBC, you have 6 stage, 6 or 5?
I think it's sometimes 6. Normally it's 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah. And then we have acoustic people. And there's a little bit where the piano is, where somebody comes in with that. So I suppose if you include that, it is, Yeah, but that's a smaller setup where the piano is.
Yeah. And 6 different PA systems that what I saw, and also the light systems, everything. It's a big organization, and it's not an easy organization. How do you do that?
Well, I'm very pleased you asked me how I do that. I don't. I just do the piano turn up. All of the sorting out a great big room, I leave that to the technical people who do a fantastic job.
They do.
It's an amazing setup, and it is a big setup. It used to be they used to have to set it up in the morning and take it down the next day. Now it's left set up. But I'm very lucky. Providence has smiled upon me because I can go in, and just the piano's there and I play it and it's ready to go. So and then I walk around and point. It all works.
Because I said this is not easy. Just in 1 minute, you just turn left or turn right, and they are ready there.
Yes,
It's
hopefully.
amazing.
Yes.